Hello everyone, welcome back for another book review. So today we are talking about this one. So this is the Poetic Edda, Stories of the Norse Gods and Heroes, and this is the translation from Jackson Crawford. So I'm gonna be real, I was very nervous going into this because again, I didn't like the previous one I got from him, the Saga of the Volsungs or whatever. I didn't love that one. It's not Jackson Crawford's fault, the story is just freaking boring to me. So I was very apprehensive for another one. But I loved the Norse mythology book from Neil Gaiman. So I was like, I should probably read the original one, right? Everyone quotes it all the time. And I'm sure that he didn't include everything because he kind of just strung the stories together, right? You know, I think he might have mentioned that he didn't include all of the things because sometimes he's like, I don't know where I'm gonna fit it. So I ended up not hating this too much, kind of, asterisk. So the stories about the gods, I loved. I really loved it. And even the way it's told, like, he gives you like a little synopsis of like what's gonna happen, and then he has it like listed out, right? And he even has like some of them, it kind of makes it hard, so he like puts like who's saying what and then the thing, so you can kind of keep track, which I thought was really nice. I don't know if that's in other translations. The ones about the gods I loved. When we get back to the heroes, I don't care. I don't know what it is. I don't care. It feels so different. And for the people who know Norse stuff, is that like a thing? Am I just crazy? Because again, I love about the gods, it feels very relatable and the stories make sense. And then you get to the heroes and I'm like, who the hell cares? The entire time. I'm like, why? Why do I care about any of these people? Because I don't. And it has such a different vibe, and I can't exactly pinpoint it. It just doesn't feel the same. Like, the stories do not have the same essence to me, and I haven't pinpointed why. It's nothing on Jackson Crawford. I just don't care about the heroes. Like, the stories, I should care, because sometimes the gods will pop in and Odin will just be like, sup, and then continue on his way. And like, you'd think that'd be kind of cool, but like, I don't care at all. I genuinely don't care about them. I only care about the gods. And I don't know if other people have experienced that. Like, do the heroes like intrigue you just as much as the story of the gods? Is this a me thing? I don't know. But I had that with the other book, and then this one too. Once it hits into the heroes, I don't care. I really don't. It's so boring. And like, I don't know, would I care more if I had known like the world history of it? Because you don't really learn that too much. Like, would I have cared more if it was like stories I had heard about? Because like, sometimes I'll like historical fiction and stuff, and so like maybe, you know, kind of along those lines, but I don't care. And again, something on Jackson Crawford, I really like the introduction paragraphs because that made it easier to understand when you're reading through this of like what you're expecting to happen, and it kind of helps you to not get totally lost. Really appreciate that. And again, I love his YouTube channel, so I would have high hopes for his translations, but again, it's the source material that's more of the problem, not his translations. I feel like he translates it really well, and at the end of this one he does have the cowboy havamal, which I love. It's so fantastic. I think he has a video on his channel of reading it, which is basically the havamal if his grandfather had said the advice, and I really love it. It's really fun, and like, having grown up in Utah, right next door to Colorado, like, same vibes for like that generation. But yeah, overall, like, I love Jackson Crawford. I love what he does on his channel. Constantly want to reference his stuff because he's so good what he does, and he's done a bunch of projects and stuff in like the real world settings. Like, he's worked on games, and like he worked on Frozen for like the little bits of Norse stuff they included. And so like, he knows his stuff. I don't know what it is about the heroes. The gods, interesting. Like, it was interesting to see where Neil Gaiman kind of combined some stories and kind of wove those together in a different way than Jackson does, because I think he just kind of runs through it, and it was interesting to kind of compare, like, why is Thor's goat have a bad leg? Well, in Neil Gaiman's book, it's because of Loki being Loki. And like, just the event, you're like, it's interesting to see how people describe it differently, you know? Like, that was cool. I loved that. Again, I just don't care about the heroes, and I don't know why. So overall, I'm glad I have it in case I want to reference back for something, but I I don't know, I feel like this is good if you want to have more of the like official copy, and Neil Gaiman is more for like if you're down to just kind of know the stories in like an interesting way, like if you're ready to kind of like level up on the knowledge levels. Jackson Crawford is fantastic, and he does make it super accessible. He doesn't try and talk over you too much and be like, well, I do have a PhD and I'm gonna use every ounce of that. Like, he tries to talk for like the average person just curious about it, which I really do love, because sometimes academic writing is just so unbelievably boring, and like you kind of need a dictionary sometimes. It's not modern average phrases that people are saying, and it's like, I'm not here for a university, I'm just here to learn what you're talking about. So I do appreciate that for Jackson Crawford's writing style for when he does actually write. But yeah, overall, if you're interested in these and you want the translated, not glorified editions from like Neil Gaiman, where he kind of, you know, spices it up, makes it unique to himself, this is fantastic, and it does go into a lot more detail than the other one, because again, this is the source stuff just made into more accessible language. So anyways, a huge thank you to my patrons. If you would like to support me over there, I do have a bunch of stuff coming out in October. It is patreon.com/nightwillowcrafts, and here on the main channel, do make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I post every single day, and until next time, thank you so much for watching, and blessed be.